I'm your host with the most, so have a toast. It's Lita Johnson here, man. Welcome to Follow Your Sports, and we're going to talk about that draft. We're going to talk about that draft, man. Good draft class. I'm going to tell you why it's a good draft class. We're going to grade these guys when we get back. We're going to get into it, man. When Lita Johnson comes right back, man. Straight up, man. Listen, that was a good draft class. We're going to talk about it when we get back. Yo, welcome back to Follow the Leader Sports. We're gonna talk about that draft, man. Philadelphia Eagles had a plan, had a blueprint, and it went down. That's just what it is. Had a plan and it went down. No question. Serious plan. I told everybody, like, listen, they're going after receiver. It just looked too evident what was gonna happen. And they did. They went after offense. First two picks, Eli Stowers. Look at this class. man, it's just crazy to look at the athletic type of prowess they have. Looking at the next subject here, and listen, it's evident to know they need a safety. And I think if you're looking at the safety position, they didn't really go after people thought. Kilgore and them guys were there. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Let's talk about that. They went after Eli Stowers instead of getting Emmanuel McNeil Warren, letting you know how important it is to spread this offense for Jalen Hurts. Now that you lost AJ Brown, this is what you have to replace, an elite receiver. And they know that, and they're attacking that. And they went after Eli Stowers instead of Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Listen, Maximus Poli he's something to watch. I think he could be another practice squad guy. 85 tackles, 5 interceptions, he was an FCS All-American, man, one of the best in there at that position. So he's somebody to watch, and he's a guy that impressed at the combine. We'll get to that. We'll get to more on Maximus Poli. We're going to come back around because, once again, Howie loves athletes, and it usually pays off for him. That's why we loving that assumption there. Maximus Poli is going to be a guy that we're going to see. Andre Sam was another guy. Okay. You got Michael Carter. I'm the second. I still think he's going to be the safety. I think they invested in him. They lowered the contract. He's there. He's still making a nice cut. So I just really think he's that guy. Him and Marcus Epps are going to be toe for that. Looking at what the Eagles brought up this year on the offseason, you forget about AE, man. AK Ibiketti, man, he's going to be a pass rushing demon. You forget about Jones and that cornerback. This guy, he's been there. He's won. You forget about having to back up Dalton. I think they're trying to, but the Cole Payton, everybody thinking, no, it's nothing to do with the starting quarterback. It's crazy for you to think that Cole Payton would be the guy they have compete with Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts coming out of college, Cole Payton can't match with him. So then we go to the pros, and you feel like the 5th round quarterback will be the guy they're going to get. No, they're going to either get a guy that's a free agent that's already an elite quarterback or one of the best in this league, or they're going to get a guy in the 1st round. There's no way they would embarrass themselves by saying Cole Payton and Jalen Hurts going to have a competition. It's crazy. Now, one of my Twitter followers, shout out Kevin Trillard, man. I was like, man, it's crazy. I mean, it's not like saying Cole Payton ain't got talent. The man got talent. He got talent to be a good player. He got talent to be a good backup. He could be, listen, at his highest ceiling, if he could put it all together, yeah, starter. But at his level, can he compete with Jalen? No. It's not even, he don't even get to step in the door. He don't even get to step in the door. And Jonathan Grenard is just, once again, like the same way they traded for AJ Brown during draft time. This is another big splash because this guy's going to be a dog. All right. I mean, definitely Howie is not done. Looking at this guy, Joshua Ure, more to talk about where he could go. Defensive line. Putting them there, 6'4", 244. Y'all saw it. He's one of those guys that could stand out, man. We got Gabe Hall coming back on the defensive line. You got Byron Young. You got backups. Ty Robinson still has a lot he got to show his talent that everybody was raving about coming out of camp last year. So Wuru said for 244, I see edge rusher. You could do the line, but I see edge rusher on the edge with that type of speed, I mean, crazy speed, crazy speed. Then you're looking at Cole Payton, man. This super, listen, 6'2", can run, can throw the football. Could run, could throw the football. But you can't sit there. I don't think how y'all think that. Tanner McKee has been in trade talks for the longest. Tanner McKee has been in trade talks, man. Tanner McKee has been talked about being traded for picks. You thought it was going to be this draft, but it wasn't. But obviously, by getting Cole Payton, they're thinking about putting Dalton at number 2, which would be the smart thing. I like McKee. No, don't get it messed up. But Andy Dalton is experienced, and if somebody goes down, You want somebody that has had wounds, like Nick Foles. When Carson Wentz went down, he had experience, so he was able to go and make that move and be that good backup. You want an experienced backup for an elite quarterback. Tanner McKee is good, very talented player. But if you can get picks for a young player, then you bring in another young player back there who could train to be the backup. There's no way. And I don't want to make people seem crazy, but he has the talent if put it up together to be an elite quarterback. If he can put it together, it's going to take some time, but you don't come in and say, hey, he going to challenge Lamar Jackson, or he going to challenge this, and he going to challenge Joe Burrow, he going to challenge. And if you're not saying Hurts is there, you have a Super Bowl, and they don't. It's just, so even if you think he don't play like that, he got one, so you have no choice but to put him there. But in the two of them, nothing you can say about that. Looking at what Cole Payton could bring to the Eagles, man, he could bring another. Somebody said Taysom Hill, and I don't think Philadelphia is into that. That's not their twist. Philadelphia is not really into that type of scheme. I'm not really in there with that. This guy right here, man, listen, you're talking about a mammoth of a person. Michael Morris is a mammoth of a person, man. You put him in there at guard, and he's with his Georgia boys again, another elite guy, one of the top prospects coming out of high school. And last year, he maximized, he didn't give up a sack. So I really love having that to challenge Tyler Steen, because I don't think Tyler Steen has solidified the guard position. That's not what he's done. He's not solidified the guard position. So I think we need that. Then there's other guys in that line, man. We're gonna talk more about that. Makai Lemon, and Devontae Smith, man. And Devontae Smith out. This is it. This is a star treatment. He hit the Liberty Bell. He's here. They already addressing him. Cool Cat called him the lemon pepper stepper. He's here. Then you talk about this guy here out of Alabama, Dante Lawson. Dante Lawson's a good run stopper. He was one of the top recruits in the country coming out of high school, and he had a good year. He was a solid back, second team All SEC. He's on the practice. I think he'll be on the practice squad, no question. I think they really are loading up for depth and grooming linebackers. They like a LBU, like the LB of the pros. They really have a good unit. Looking at all these guys here, man, undrafted. Roberts, Daquan Wright. Daquan Wright is another receiving threat to look out for. Long snapper. They don't have one on the team. So now you bring one in, Rocco Underwood from Florida. He has starts. That's definitely a guy to look at right there. I think could make the team off top, because who you challenging? Who they bringing in? It's the long snapper, Coming up, looking more into my guy here, Dante Lawson, is going to be a different monster back there, because you're going to learn from Jahad Campbell. So I love the practice squad. I think the practice squad might be the best it's been in a minute. After a couple of drafts, 3 years, they got a lot of good players. Going to be something to look at. Looking more at this guy here, Yor Bernard. This cat here, man. This is why I'm like, listen, just give it a minute, probably 3 years. Could be automatically. He just got natural talent, 4'6", a 300-pounder, 39-inch vertical, 10'10" broad, 31 bench press, like this cat. And then you're looking at Myles Garrett. Similar. That's scary. And look how he moved, man. You look at his tape, it'd be crazy. So this is going to be something to see. I think he make the team and start immediately impacting. I think it's just natural for him to be an athlete. Daquan Wright, man. Daquan Wright. All SEC type tight end, led all FBS tight ends last season with the 10.1 yards per catch. 6'4". I think he could end up, listen, to be real, you look at what the Dallas Goedert situation, the Crank Alcantara, I think I'm just going to make a guess that couldn't stick. It might not stick, but I think it'll be him and Eli Stowers. I think he can block, and like he can't block. So this could be Just watch camp with Stone Smart and Johnny Munt and all them guys. Just watch camp. Watch how it turn out. Just watch camp. Then you got other guys. Um, Listen, Jonathan Gennard gonna be a big time boy. You got other guys on this team that's big time. This is already out looking at the offense. That Eli Stowers. First, when it came out, you just saw Makai Lemon. Now you obviously think what they think about Stowers. You put Wicks in there, you know he's the type of guy that's gonna be in there. Looking at this squad, man, we're gonna get back and talk to him, man. I just want listen. Looking at this squad, and you see the picks. John Mackey Award winner. That's who we got. Kenyon Sadiq is the more talented. That's how draft goes. Kenyon Sadiq is the more talented. Maybe we could say 320. All right, now let's talk about this. Let's round it up. Let's round it up. First off, I'm going to grade them. I'm going to grade them for you. We're going to get the grading these guys. What do I give Makai Lemon? I give him an A. I give Stowers an A. Bell an A. Peyton is a C. Micah Morris is an A. Wazinski is a D. You a Bernard, a C plus. The only reason I say C plus is because he ain't played. But man, the treats. And then Keyshawn James Newby is a B. I mean, this guy, what he's done and he did at New Mexico, uh, I mean, he's an elite. It's just that if he would have did that at Florida or Michigan or Ohio State, or if he would have just did that at Baylor, it would have been different. But this man put the same pressure as the elite prospects. David Bailey was a top 3 guy, and Ruben Bain Jr., who should have been a top 10 guy or top 5 guy for sure. I mean, he failed, but Ruben Bain was a top 5 player, and he put the havoc on people like that. Looking at this class and looking at what they got in terms of like strength and numbers, all around. Matter of fact, all around grade A. Undrafted free agents. I just give it a C plus. It was okay. They got guys. I like Lawson. I don't really look at. I like the guy they got out of Georgia. I mean Alabama. The guard. Um, it's some guys that's really going to be good for this team, and it's going to be to make depth practice squad. They're going to have, like they always have, a good practice squad. Philadelphia always has a good practice squad. And you look at this, I say Tanner McKee could get traded. They was always talking about picks. You put Cole Payton at number 3. You're able to put Dalton at 2. It just makes more sense to have an experienced backup, a guy who's been there. So if Jalen go down, you got to depend on Tanner McKee. I don't think that's going to go down. I really feel like that Dalton was signed to be the number 2. Could be wrong, but it makes sense. So and then getting Cole Payton in the 5th round, you could have got a quarterback, an undrafted quarterback. You could have got an undrafted quarterback to come in there and just compete for the 3rd spot. People think he's going to compete with Dalton. That's not what they're doing. I just don't think that would be funny if Peyton was competing with Dalton to be number 3 and Tanner is just clear cut number 2 over a vet that has been there and won and been in the Pro Bowl. It just don't look right. So I just think I would be more comfortable too. But if they decide to, they decide to. Tanner is very talented, but it would be better to let a veteran deal with it than put it all on a young guy. A guy who's been in that competition, winning, and Andy Dalton. Um, you look at, I think my favorite pick out of here, Michael Morris. Him and Markel Bell, man. We got some offensive linemen. I pretty much like how I went. I wanted Gerard McCoy. He was a guy that was slipping, and I wanted him, but they didn't listen. Philly didn't feel like there was no needs, and they got good players. The undrafted free agents was good, but they didn't really go hard. I mean, you look at the guys they got, and even Maximus Pulley, like these guys are there to make practice squad, and they're there to compete, take no slots. But they're going to have some good talent because Philadelphia does good when they have talent. So you should be excited about that when they get young guys because they able to develop them. And then international guys, Ruru and Bernard, man, when you get guys like that, especially on the line or edge rushing, you can kind of develop them better through athletics than you could a receiver or a tight end or even a linebacker. When you got a pass rusher, you need got to be a pass rusher or be a run stopper. When they got those traits, they can be like Ojomo. To me, I'm comparing the Bernard and Ruru thing to Ojomo because Ojomo, he was drafted in the late round. And Ojomo didn't have big production in college, but he killed the combine. When they drafted him, he got on the line. This dude he showed out. Look at him now. He's one of the best defensive linemen in the league. Like, you got to understand where they're coming from in this whole situation, how they building their team. They're ready to go. They are loaded. Elijah Moore, they are loaded. People don't talk about Elijah Moore. They trips me out too. But listen, man, nice talking to y'all. Had to just update y'all on things, man. We're going to come back. Listen, Broad Street Best Take is on Monday, Leader Edition. Me and Cool Cat going to break down this draft even more. So listen, shout out to everybody. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I'm out, man. Follow the leader.